Coaching video today. So we're talking about the traits that make up a good real estate agent. I'm going to go in on this one. So watch, like, share, subscribe. Let's get it. Sascha Chatman here, your real estate tech ninja. And today we are talking about the traits that I believe that make up a really good real estate agent. So if you're thinking about getting into the business, watch this entire video. We're going to talk about my top 10 traits that I think make a really good real estate agent. All right, let's go. Number one, heart. Man, you got to have heart in this game. Okay, you have got to have some heart in a couple ways. One, you got to have the heart and the love for real estate. If you just get in this to make money and you're not in here to help people, we got enough of those people. We have enough of those people in the industry. Bye. Go away. Don't even get into this industry if you're not in this to try to help people and it is only about you. This cannot be an industry and a job that is only about you. Okay? The other thing with heart is you better be ready to take a punch. Okay? You better have some heart because in this game, you will get knocked down, you will get fired, and you will go through some things that's completely not your fault, and you can be sitting back and bewildered like, what just happened? Stand up, keep going, keep grinding. You better have heart. Number two, professionalism. You gotta be a professional doing this. I can't tell you how many times I've worked with agents that just frankly was not professional. They didn't communicate, how they handled themselves. They try to come off and yell and scream at you. And I'm not the guy you're going to yell and scream at. I'll go back at you if I have to. I don't want to, but I will go back at you.
I'll get you for this! You won't escape my wrath!
And the thing is, this industry's too small. You end up running into them again. So how you leave one deal, you may run into that person yet again. And I'm going to remember the person who was rude, cussing me out and acting crazy, and who was extremely difficult to work with. When they want to show my listing, I'm like, we good. We don't want to hear from you. We really don't want to hear from you. All right. Number three, knowledgeable. You got to know your craft. You've got to understand what you're doing in this business. We are dealing with people's lives here, okay? This job is really about helping someone buy and sell a home. I just take that very serious. This is not something we can mess up. This is not something that we can just screw up because we don't know something. But I can't tell you how many agents I come across who don't know their contracts, who have no idea what they're doing. And frankly, I eat them up alive in negotiations, or two, they're just giving their client's position away. And it's a bad situation. I'm like, ooh, if I was on the other side, I would feel really bad. You got to know what you're doing when you do this. You got to understand the amendments. You got to understand your contracts. You got to understand the real estate process and what you can and cannot say. Being knowledgeable can go a very long way in this industry. And when you're not, you're putting yourself at risk and you're putting your clients at risk. So you got to have that up. You just got to have that. And it's not your broker's responsibility to keep training you. There's lots of ways for you to get your training. Let's be professionals. Go out there and get your own training. You can figure out how to do that. Number four, open-minded. You got to be open-minded with this whole thing because you're going to come across situations that you've never come across before. It happens all the time, and you have to have an open mind to find a solution. When you're closed-minded from a particular situation you dealt with before or a bad situation from a different transaction, it's not the same transaction you're going through, and it's not the same players that you're dealing with. So you got to have an open mind so you can find creative solutions to work through the problem. You will come through problems. Sometimes I'm doing bad deal after bad deal after bad deal. Like, man, why are all these deals so rough? But I find a new solution. So the next time I come across something remotely close to it, it's not that bad. It's not that bad anymore. But open-mindedness does help. 5, communication. You got to be a good communicator in this. There's nothing more frustrating than working with an agent that does not communicate. They won't answer phone calls, text, won't email, won't tell you anything that's going on. It's the easiest way to kill a deal. When someone's not communicating, people start to fill up their lack of information with a bad story. We start telling ourselves a story, and usually the story we tell ourselves is not positive. The same thing happens with your clients. When you're not communicating with your client and your client has no idea where they are in terms of did they get the house, what's their pre-approval looking like, et cetera, They start telling themselves a very negative story. And before you know, that absence of information that you're not passing on to them leaves a bad taste in their mouth. The same thing happens with agents. When someone's not communicating with me, I'm like, dude, what is this guy's problem? I've called him, I've texted him, I've emailed him. We know we're on the clock here. We got to get something done. And pretty soon, if I don't have information to go off of, deals can die. That's not a good place to be. Number 6, you got to be fair. You know, there are agents out there who play to win in every little thing that they do.
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
And sometimes you have agents out there who are trying to win so much, they're actually losing, especially in the market right now. This is a seller's market here in DFW. And I get these buyer agents who will turn in, they'll go see a home, we'll get under contract, and they give me this 3-page long report of repairs. I'm like, are you serious right now? Do you know what market this is? Like, we're not doing all this. And they just keep trying to beat you over the head with these repairs. And I'm like, hey, there's a fairness in this game. You're not going to get under contract and then try to beat yourself with $10,000 in repairs. We're not going to do it. We're going to tell you buy, and we're going to go to the next one. All right, so understand that there's a fairness to this game, to where if you're always beating people up over to try to get the deal done, same thing's going to happen to you. Believe me, the real estate guys will come back on you, and it is not pretty when they do. Here's one we shouldn't have to talk about too much, but honesty and integrity. You have to have integrity when you're doing this. You just have to. There's so many ways that we can withhold information or not tell the complete story to try to put our clients in a better position, or put ourselves, that's what I see some people doing, in a better position. And you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that, because that stuff can come back to bite you in the butt. You can lose your license with it. For example, let's say you've been under contract on a home for like 5 different times, and the house clearly has some issues on the repairs, and you've got that inspection report. Man, you need to turn that over. Turn it over. Why? Because it's going to come up yet again, right? It will come up. Eventually, someone's going to find that issue. And if you get caught that you're withholding that information, that is a bad place to be as an agent. I know, I'll tell you right now, I'm the type of agent, if I find out that someone has been withholding an inspection report and they knew they had it and they didn't turn it in, yeah, we're going to have some problems. I'm talking to your broker. You know, if you're the broker, we're talking a trick. That's just not something that you need to do. Integrity and honesty is always a big thing in here. And I can't stand when agents start to lie to you about repairs, or start to lie to you about what's going on. Or even loan officers that will lie to you about where clients at. Do not lie to your clients. Have the hard and difficult conversations up front, so you're not having to deal with that later. It's just a lot easier to just rip that scab off and move on, and make sure everyone understands what the situation is, and just deal with it. Number 8, I believe that a good agent is a risk taker. Okay, not taking risks with their clients, but taking risks with their business. This is the land where people try to tell you no, right? This is not how you do this. This is not how you do this. This is not the such and such way. I hear that all the time. Look, I'm not the one who asks for permission. I ask for forgiveness. I'm always trying something new. I'm always trying to figure out and take a risk in doing something in my business that I believe makes sense. I get told no, I messed this up. That's fine. I'll learn from it. But when I hit gold, I hit gold. Which brings me to my next one. You've got to be innovative. Okay. Number 9, a good agent is innovative in their business and how they're going about it. I do so many innovative things in my business that I know other agents haven't tried, haven't thought about. And I say, hey, I don't want to do that. That doesn't work. Well, what doesn't work for you doesn't work for you. But I'm going to try this thing, and I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to give it enough reps to see how I can make it work and go down that path. For example, I know a lot of agents don't like to do open houses. I do them all the time. Even at the level of success that I'm having right now, I still do open house because I understand my business. One listing, and if I do the open house right, should yield me at least 4 more transactions. Let me say it again. If I do it right, and I'm innovative in my approach to open houses, I do all the marketing that I tell you guys about, I should yield 4 more transactions. So I use a couple of listings. I just keep eating over and over and over again. Be innovative in your business. Take the risk. Figure these things out. Last but not least, this is the big one. You gotta have the heart of a hustler. You gotta have the heart of a hustler. This is different than having heart. I'm talking about having the heart of a hustler. Get up every day. Grind, get told no, get called everything but a child of God, and keep going. You get knocked down, you stand back up, and you keep going. Make the 30 calls a day, the 50 calls a day. Do what you have to do to make your business successful. There's no excuses in this game. You know, they always say is you can have results or you can have excuses, but you can't have them both. I've been knocked down. Lick your wounds, get back up, keep grinding. The agents who do the best have that hustle mentality, and they keep dialing, they keep going. That's why they're good with FISBOs, that's why they're good with expires, and that's why they have multiple deals all the time. You cannot, absolutely cannot get going in this business if you're not picking up that phone and making those phone calls. I tell so many of my mentees this, how many calls did you make? They tell me 10. Really? 10 is not going to yield you enough clients to get 4 deals. You need to be making the calls, making the dials. Get up, have the heart of a hustler, man, and just keep going with it. I know that I call more people before 10 o'clock than most other agents will call all day because I'm about that business, and I know I can get it in like that. Find your quiet spot and get it in. All right, guys, I hope you liked this particular video, but these are my traits that I believe make up a really good real estate agent. You know, from having a heart of a hustler, from being innovative, you name it. These are things I think a good real estate agent actually has, and that they do on a consistent basis, but it exudes from them, and you can see it when they come in. All right? If you have any questions, leave your comments down below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Peace.